Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Project-Nerd Pavilion, powered by Phineas Coffee, coffee for gamers. I'm sitting here with Ant Lucia. How are you?
Good, good. Very good.
Ant is somebody that I specifically requested to interview today because me and my wife are huge proponents of your now I lost it. Your
Artwork.
artwork, but more so the Bombshells series. I don't know why I couldn't think of the word Bombshells.
Thank you very much.
So multiple statues. You've seen me get stuff signed at many conventions.
We'll have to fill out your collection a little bit more today, right?
Yeah,
You come by and we'll get you
we
some.
started a business, so I'm hoping to put some profits into somebody else's pocket today.
There you go.
But yeah, so we've met at, like we were just mentioning, Kansas City Comic Con, Planet Comic Con, a lot of the Midwest cons. You were from Iowa,
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Originally from Des Moines, Iowa. So.
Yep. So, but one of the things that I know we've wanted to do is get you here to O Con, with everything that you guys have, or I've seen you everywhere we've seen you. We wanted you at our hometown convention, and you've been in Omaha before, correct? For some free comic book day things.
I did a free comic book maybe a few years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yep, and I had just started talking to the promoter for this show, Matt.
That was Matt.
I think it's Matt.
Yeah, Matt Fouillon.
Yep, Matt, and I met him at a couple other shows, and I've been hearing good things about O Con and wanted to give it a shot. It's a nice, easy drive from Iowa, and yeah, so it's been fun.
Definitely. Now, do you have right now we're live streaming too, so this will be more so for people who are watching or coming. Where's your booth at right now? And you want to
Oh gosh, I don't even know what the number is.
So are you right here on this front?
Yes.
So they're in Artist Alley, right inside the arena. It'll be, if you go in the correct entrance, it'll be right to your right. I think, Dale, is there aisle numbers in the arena this year? Okay.
I think I'm sharing a row with Jim Mesling
Andy.
and Phil Hester and Andy Parks, I believe.
So that'll be right inside the expo arena. So when you go in there, just look for him. Do you have your usual booth set up, or you got a smaller one this year?
Yes, I've got statues, pops, action figures, playing cards, mini cards, comic books, prints.
Yeah,
a little bit of everything.
Did you end up going through all your PCC numbered prints?
I have a few left over, so I posted them on my website.
Nice.
If anyone wanted to get the last bit of those, and so then that was really fun because we did. I've been doing Planet Comic Con for years. I think I was probably almost at least 10 years or so, and so I've gotten to really know Chris really well. And so when he asked if I'd do the show artwork, I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I had no idea that they put it on everything, so it was fun to see it all throughout the show.
It's definitely really, it's really good. I mean, it's in the Bombshell style, obviously, and that's an original character.
Yeah, he when he called me, there wasn't much time, and he has a collection of Space Girls that he's done every year with different artists, and I said, okay, well, we've only got about a week. I have a Space Girl. Let's customize her for the show. And
nice.
Yeah, so it worked out well.
That's exciting. So then that's kind of your original character, just kind of tuned to colors and stuff of the planet. That's awesome. So I know we talk a lot about the Bombshells kind of potentially being more your bread and butter for most of what people know you for.
Yeah.
But do you have anything else that people might know but not know as you?
I think my biggest other series was the Monster series. That is kind of what I started. I went to school for graphic design and fine arts, so when I growing up, I was always a comic book fan, and I always wanted to draw comics. So I would copy my favorite artists, and I would do whatever style that I liked, that I would see. And then when I went to school for fine arts, I get a chance to play around with different techniques, different styles. And then I also double majored in graphic design, so I started using those Adobe tools and design tools, and I started building illustrations in an Illustrator for clients. Illustrations, just vector artwork for their print work or whatever. And then I thought, this would be a fun style to try in comics.
Yeah.
So I started building my own series, and I was, I'd been going to comic conventions for quite a while, and seeing everyone's artwork, and I thought, how can I set myself apart? What is going to make someone stop at my table that they haven't seen at every other booth? So that's when I came up with the monster, the Spook Show pinups, because I thought, all right, let's take all those classic movie monsters and flip it to be like romantic comedies. So more of a cheesecake appeal to it.
Definitely.
And those really kind of launched my convention career and ultimately got me the attention of DC to start the Bombshells.
So and if I remember correctly, had you done a couple of Bombshells prior to them speaking with you, or?
What's funny is after I finished the monsters, I was like, okay, what else can I do? And so I was making myself lists of pieces that I would want to try and do.
Yeah.
And I had a list of DC characters and ideas that I wanted to try with them in kind of this pinup format. And I was gonna do that. And then they approached me and said, "Oh, we'd like your style. This is exactly what we were thinking of for a line of statues, more of a World War II style nose art collection, and we think your style would fit it really nicely." And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds really cool."
Yeah.
So, and then it took a while before I actually heard from them, but I think we just kept in touch with each other, and I kept seeing them at all the shows, and I'd bring them samples of some of my latest stuff, and then eventually I got a call, and we started working on them. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
And now, as far as that goes, is that something that where do the propaganda posters kind of fall in there? Is that kind of one of the things that you did in between, or?
Yeah, I think I started those before doing the Bombshells. I love old propaganda, military propaganda, and I just visited a museum, I think, in Chicago, and they had just hallways of all those old propaganda posters, and I was just so inspired. I got home and I started working on some of my own versions with Star Wars and everything else, and that's kind of where those spawned from. Really what I was doing was building posters that I wanted to hang in my house of characters that I loved and stuff that I thought would be kind of a neat spin, and then if I could sell them, great. But I was working. I mean, I still do. I have a design company, so I worked that 40 hours a week. So I was never needed it for money or income, because I had that covered. This was more for a hobby,
passion
and
project,
a passion, and just to do for fun. And then if other people liked it, awesome. So
yeah. Now I think I ask you this every time. I know you have a favorite is kind of typically the next one you're working on most of the time, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So is there any? I changed my question. Is there anything that you want to work on that they haven't asked you to yet, or that you haven't figured what to do out with?
Well, I have a running list of characters that I want to do, not necessarily DC, but just in general. And so I've been working on some Ninja Turtles in my spare time. So those will be out eventually. I think sooner than later.
That's exciting.
I've got 3 out of the 4 done, and they'll be kind of a combined grouping, so you can either buy them individually or they hang together well.
That's exciting.
And then as far as the bombshells, we're working on new ones right now. I just finished one, and
you're gonna put me out of business, man.
we've got. I think we've got a new list, so I think there's more to come.
Yeah.
We're just working a lot slower than we were when they first came out. Someone mentioned today, I would love to do more of the male characters. I think we're kind of running low on some of the female characters. So we started doing those celebration versions where they're more like a diorama or something that's like, I don't know if you've seen it yet, but the Supergirl Batgirl combination, the Wonder Woman on the tank. So I think there may be more of those in store. I'm not sure.
Well, it's definitely adding things to the existing characters.
Yeah.
That people will. I mean, we'll eat that stuff up.
Yeah.
I mean, I love cool statues. It's my biggest thing that I look to get. Somebody actually we started a business, pop-up lockers, to have people store their stuff. You either signed or they bought from you and signed the Green Lantern, the Lady Green Lantern.
Jessica Cruz.
There you go. And it's stored in our lockers right now.
Nice.
And just because he didn't want to carry it around, but like that, you could do iterations like that, and that's perfect. So.
Well, I mean, they're fun to do, and the cool part about it for me was always that they're taking my artwork and doing a 3-dimensional version of it. So that's a bonus in itself for me to see someone and see them execute it so well, because the sculptors that work on each one of the designs are incredibly talented sculptors that are seasoned professionals. They've been doing statues for long before I was doing artwork.
Yeah.
So, Tim Miller has done a bulk of them. Jack Matthews, Sam Greenwell, and then Jason Wires is doing the paint schemes on all of these. So they've just got a top-notch team working on it all the way through to the end. So
that's exciting. Have you ever thought about doing any I'd say like variants on non-human objects or anything like that? Like kind of like I don't know, like older, like if you took the Millennium Falcon and made it like steampunk or anything like
that'd
that.
Be fun. Yeah. I had done one illustration that had an old classic car in it, and it was enjoyable to work on. And I thought eventually it'd be fun to do some more vehicles or the vehicles that I'm a fan of, like the classic Batman, the 60s Batmobile, the DeLorean, all the fun ones.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to do a series of just vehicles.
Yeah, that's
and like you said, that's a great idea, just to run a new spin on it or something.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, we know the characters prior to the Bombshell series, so I mean they're just with comics you get variants of every character multiple ways. You got the 52 different universes. So
and when we started working on the Bombshells, I wanted to put one of them on a motorcycle just because I thought it would be fun. And so when we started working on Batgirl, I was like, oh, let's throw on a motorcycle. But unfortunately, at the same time, they were running the whole motorcycle line of statues at the same time as we were doing Bombshells. So we shied away from incorporating that into the Bombshells.
There's a Harley Bombshell no, she's on
she's riding the bomb. Yeah.
I was like, I thought for whatever reason I thought it was
that was a cool story because truly the initial design was the Harley on a bomb, and when it came to production, we had no idea how well these would go over, and so they scaled back on what it was, and then said, eventually if this sells well, we'll probably produce that, the full bomb and everything. And so when it came out, it was a little bit of a bummer because I I was excited to see that whole missile. And then when it was released, it sold out within months.
Yeah.
And so
it's pretty hard to find. I've
so
looked.
so it was awesome to see that I finally got the full bomb version of it. So
Well, kind of, are we good on time? I mean, 15 minutes or so? How long has it been? Okay.
whatever you want.
I was saying,
I'm good.
just do you have anything you want to plug? I mean, I feel like it's all pretty much, your name on everything.
Yeah, I mean, you can find most of my products at antlucia.com. There is a lot of exclusive pieces that I carry only with me, only at the show. You can't get them online. So if you come to the O Con, you can pick up some of that more exclusive stuff.
Definitely.
Or at any show I'm at. That's about it. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for watching. You guys can catch Ant in the Artist Alley in the O Comic Con Arena, or O Con Arena for the Expo Hall. This has been Project Nerd on Twitch, and I'm Drew from Sex and Science. Have a wonderful day, and see you around.
Thank you.